6 chill, for real.
Gotta make sure I put the whole team on. Everyone got Mike and Mary jeans on. Took some shots in the dark with no beam on. To some else I had no one. What's up, YTube? This just in. Apparently, Russia says it has developed a vaccine against cancer that will be rolled out to patients for free. Now, I don't know the credibility of this article or the source, but if this is true, two things are gonna happen, man. This is gonna be revolutionary, and this is gonna cause possibly World War III. I know you're like, what do you mean? Why would it cause World War III? Well, over the years, Russia hasn't had the best rep from the U.S. They've literally brainwashed everybody that Putin is the worst enemy of the state, the enemy of the U.S. But, you know, as time progressed, it actually showed the opposite. Putin was a decent guy. He actually cared about, you know, the Russians on a different level. And then he was actually exposing the U.S. When I say exposing the U.S., for those of you guys who are overly religious, you know, and you have been believing the religious script for the longest, Putin basically exposed that when he dropped the relics. If you don't know what a relic is a ancient artifact that's been kept from the public for years and years. And you're talking about what relic did he drop? Come on, man. Jesus is black. He dropped the relics. And when he dropped the relics, it was a big cover up. It was a big blow up. Everybody said this is fake. These are not real artifacts. These are not real relics. Now, Putin is back at it again. He's saying, look, man, y'all got the U.S. over there saying cancer is not curable. We have a cure, and we're ready to push the cure out. So two things are going to happen. Being the USA wants to be the only inventor and creator of everything, they're going to push out the cure that they probably have and have been sitting on for years. Because if you look at cancer, cancer has killed literally almost everybody you know. My uncle died from cancer. I know you know somebody that died from cancer. So this is almost forcing their hand to produce, you know, this vaccine or cure that they've been having for a lot of these illnesses. You know, they probably got a cure for AIDS, cancer, and a lot of major diseases that attack the immune system of humans. But of course, they can't release that because it's all about money. That's why when you go to the hospital, you don't get cured, you get treated. Because if they cure you, that's money lost. But now Putin is literally gonna force the USA to have to either push out their vaccine first or get questioned by the citizens as to why hasn't they released the cure for cancer if it's been available this whole time, you know? And there's people online that's kind of torn apart. They're saying, you know, hey, if they do have a cure in the U.S., it's going to cost you an arm and a leg and a heart. And I believe that. Look at medical costs, medical coverage. I mean, anything dealing with medical is insane. If you get in an ambulance, like that's $2,000. So some people say maybe this is the reason Big Pharma and all these other companies have been having, you know, issues here and there. And I personally don't know if it's true or not, but this is a big statement to hit X. You know, Elon Musk is not going to allow something on X that's not factual. They have to fact check. I didn't see a fact check on here at all, but if this is true, it's going to be revolutionary. It's going to force the U.S. to literally push out all the cures for most of the major diseases that they have been holding back because they've been collecting, you know, insurance claims, insurance money, and people's, you know, relatives have been dying. It's been a lot of people that's died from cancer. There's been a whole war against cancer, bro. Like war on drugs, there's been a war against cancer. There's been nonprofits. Cancer has been one of those biggest things in the U.S. that's killed millions of people, thousands of people. So it's almost like Putin is a genius because he's like, hey, man, I'm going to just make a statement like, look, we're about to drop this cure for cancer. Guarantee you all the U.S., you know, I don't know what you want to call them, like administrative medicine administrators, you know, the CDC guys, they're over there panicking. Like, what do we do? If Putin drops the cure for cancer, we're going to look bad. We have to save face because I believe everything in the U.S. is about saving face. I believe the U.S. has the cure for AIDS, cancer, and everything else that people have. But like I said, they cannot put those cures out because it's better to treat a patient than to cure a patient. I learned that working as a nutritionist. You learn a lot of things when you work as a nutritionist. But what do y'all think, man? Y'all think this is a credible source? Is it true? Let me. Maybe there's some truth to this, but it's hard to determine that. But let's look at things from a technology standpoint. For instance, the U.S. is marketed as like the best technological place to be, but in reality, that is not true. China, Japan, they have the best technology over there. I'm gonna give you guys an example. Recently, you had the iPhone 16, 14, all of that released, but none of those phones can compete with I think it's called the Hawaii. Hawaii. It's a certain type of phone that China has just released that's literally destroying the iPhone 16, 14, 12, 13, all of those phones. And guess what happened? It's banned in the US. Means you can't get that phone here. So at the end of the day, it's all about saving face. So if they have the audacity to ban a phone that literally threatens the technology of Apple, because the Hawaii phone is better than all phones Apple has ever released. It has new technology never seen before. And that's why the phone is banned in the United States. So if that's how the US is coming as far as technology, what do you think they're going to do as far as Russia dropping a cure for cancer? They might block that news. It might never hit X. You know what I mean?